Life Path 1. What are your current money blocks and how can you release them? Welcome to my channel. My name is Asil, Divine Rose Healing, and I'm a numerologist and oracle. And today we're going to look into how we can release the money blocks that come up for life path number 1. By the way, it does not have to be your life path number. If it's your destiny number, if it's your heart's desire number, if it's your birth date number, if you have one in any of those, then this video applies to you because you have a very strong one energy, regardless of where it shows up. But just for the sake of ease, I just say life path 1, but honestly, it's for one in any place in your chart. So welcome. If you're here, there's something in here for you. The card that we got is number 8. And right away, before even reading it, this is, by the way, the Abraham Hicks Money and Law of Attraction cards. But before even reading it, I'm like very drawn to the sun, the yellow energy. And here it looks like the sun is like glowing on his face. You can see it a lot better in person. But so, which makes sense because one is the energy of the sun, right? Of the very masculine energy, and it's a very like leadership oriented energy. So that is right there, some confirmation. But the card is number 8, and it says, I am the attractor of my every experience. Okay. And it says, you are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time-space reality. You were born knowing that you're a powerful being and that you are good, and that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like itself, is drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it would serve you well, and so it has. The main block that is really coming up here for the life path 1 is possibly this like blame energy of blaming others or, not fully taking accountability for everything that's happened in your life. And I say that with so much love. I say that with love, but that's kind of what's coming through is the energy of like, if something isn't going well in your life, looking around and kind of the person who is closest to you or who seems like it might be, who's involved in whatever it is just kind of the easiest to blame. And ones can sometimes fall into this, but it's really important to like look within and to, even if the situation is actually somebody else's fault, but to still look within and say, like, what within me has attracted this experience? What within me has drawn in this experience? That's so, so important because when we don't do that, we live as powerless beings. And 1 is a very powerful energy. It's a very powerful number. And so if you have a strong 1 in your vibration, like I want you to use that power fully. When we are victims, even if it's unconsciously, we strip away our power because then we feel like there's nothing I can do. And, on the negative side, a 1 can feel that way of that blaming of others and not themselves. But in their most empowered sense, in their highest self energy as a 1, it's really, really important that you take accountability for everything and you say, like, what within me has attracted that? What within me has drawn that in, right? Or what part of this situation was I at fault here. And again, to do this with love, not in a way of like to speak badly to yourself or to be hard on yourself, but just so that you're aware for next time or for future situations or what you could do differently tomorrow. Because when you take accountability, then instantly the power is back in your hands and you're like, okay, what can I do differently? What can I fix or change? Whereas if it's somebody else's fault, then you're forever at the mercy of that person. And even if you change the person and you go to another situation, whether it's like a work situation or it's like a relationship situation, whatever it is, whoever it is that it feels like it's at blame, even if you change it, you will continue to draw that energy of, I just can't get ahead because of this, because of that. And again, the message here is what part within me can take accountability and ownership of that. Even if it's just telling a different story, even if it's just saying, okay, maybe that didn't go well, but it's going to go differently this time because blah, blah, blah. Or, it might seem like it's going bad, but actually it's going a lot better than I thought, right? There's a lot more progress than I would have thought. Or even if there's not that much progress, if that's your story because of this and that person, something that you've taken accountability on or initiative on, what can you give credit to yourself for, right? So it's that energy here of like building yourself up and taking accountability, even if it's saying sometimes what you're not doing perfectly correctly and what you could improve on, even if it's that, but to really go within and to own that and be able to draw a new experience. It says, I am the attractor of my every experience. I am the attractor. So when you put that, when you really know that in your heart, in your mind, you can say, okay, I want to draw in a different experience. What can I do differently? And I invite you to journal on this, right? Sometimes the answers come so much more easily when we're writing and journaling rather than just thinking, because then it can get a little overwhelming with all the thoughts that can happen in your head. Whereas when you write it down, it's a lot more clear. And I find that there's just more room to receive the answers, right? Because it takes long to write compared to when you're thinking it. So in that moment of writing, you make space for the clarity to come out. Whereas when you're thinking it, it's easy to kind of jump from one thought to the next, or to be like, oh, let me just check my phone, or let me just do this, and then to get distracted. So that's also coming through, is like really take the time to write it down and say what needs to come through here. So that was what came up. And it's number 8, which is such a money energy number, right? It's like the number for attracting money. And so because it represents infinity, right? And it also represents power. And it's also like an invitation that when you own it, when you take accountability, when you own exactly what happened in the situation and you reclaim your power, you connect with that 8 energy of power, of blessings, of infinity, and you can draw more. And like 1 is a number that honestly attracts so much money into their life if they want to. If they don't, then, that's something different. But if they want to, because ones are really great at taking ideas and putting them to action. They're really great at like manifesting things, at going beyond just the thoughts, but actually creating things and creating new paths. And, they're all about initiative and forward movement. So one's a very powerful energy, and I really want you to take that power to the next level. And this is how you could do that. It's a look around at your life, everything that seemingly is, that's going wrong or that's other people's fault, especially as it regards to money. I want you to really take accountability and ownership and say, what can I do differently here? Where am I wrong in this situation? Not in a form of self-blame or making yourself wrong for the heck of being wrong, but like, what can I do differently next time? What can I do better? Okay, so that is what is coming through. And the next card here is the story I tell is the basis of my life. The story I tell is the basis of my life. It doesn't matter what stories other people are telling, it doesn't matter whose perspective. And ones are good at this actually naturally to be like, I don't care about your opinion. My opinion is what matters. And they, with love, they do this, but it's just a natural one thing, which is really good, by the way. It's a really, like, it's one of the qualities that make you very powerful, is that natural sense of self-worth and self-esteem that comes with just having that energy of like, it's the story that I tell. It's what I think about the situation, right? And not giving any importance to like what other people are thinking, right? That gives you more like self-assuredness and self-trust. So it's really good. But I want you to take it a step further by like really recognizing the story I tell is the basis of my life. So maybe there's some stories that you picked up from childhood or just things that you've always heard and that just kind of started to become your own voice. And then they start to create your own reality, right? So when it comes to money, like what stories am I telling that I don't want to see in my reality anymore? And recognizing that it really starts with that story. So how can I take that story and reword it, right? How can I make it different, make it better so that I actually get what I want? Because I was having this conversation with someone the other day who's really trying to manifest money, and he was telling me like, chronic anxious thought in my head of like, I need to make more money. I need to make more money. And I was like, do you recognize like how powerful of a being you are and how every story you say creates your life? So when you're always saying, I need to make more money, what are you saying energetically? You're saying, I don't have enough. And then so all you can get back is, I don't have enough. He was also a Life Path 1. So I love that that story is coming up right now in this Life Path 1 reading. And we started to kind of talk about different stories we can tell in our head. And the ego resists this so much because it thinks like, oh, now I'm just lying to myself. Now I'm just fabricating stuff. Now I'm just living in make-believe land. No, what you're doing is you have to understand that what you're living right now is the result of things that have manifested, of your thoughts and beliefs and emotions from yesterday and last month. And so what you're thinking now is what's going to create your tomorrow, your next week, your next month. So you're not lying to yourself. You are jumping into the timeline where that's actually the truth. And that's why you're affirming it right now. You're living as if it is right now, saying that new story, because then the result of that thought it will come tomorrow, it will come next week, it will come next month, depending on what it is and just how much resistance you have to it. If you don't have much resistance, it can literally happen instantly. It can happen tomorrow. If you have a little bit more resistance, it's okay. It might take more time, but you keep affirming that new story. You're not lying to yourself. You are jumping into the timeline where that becomes true. If you're being honest with yourself, quote unquote, and you're just saying reality as it is, then that's all you'll ever keep creating is that same reality. And I know you don't want that, right? So get past that ego story that tells you, like, I'm just thinking this. This is a lie. I used to have that one a lot too. And when I really learned that, things really shifted for me. And something else I'll say is I read the book The Astonishing Power of Emotions by Abraham Hicks, which is actually what later on inspired me to get these cards. Such a powerful book. It really helped me understand this idea more and more. So if you're looking for a good book to read, I highly recommend that. It's about a lot more than money. It does cover money in there, but a lot more than that. And it's just so brilliant and really helps you get these ideas a lot more. Because I know people listen to Abraham Hicks like the 15-minute clips on YouTube. Those are great, but I didn't get the message truly and deeply the way that I did when I read the book. Maybe somebody out there needed to hear that. Okay, so those are the messages that are coming through for my lovely one energy people, whether you're life path one, whether you're expression number one, or anything like that. That's the message that's coming through. Before we end it off, I'm just going to read to you guys something from our lovely chakra deck here. What wants to come through? This is so nice. This is a card that came out. It's faith. It's faith, okay? So believing in the unseen, it's exactly what we've been talking about. It doesn't have to be necessarily true just yet, but when you believe in that unseen, when you have faith in this dream, this power, this thing that you're creating, this thing that you're manifesting, that's how it comes to be. There's this quote that I love, and it says, both faith and fear require you to believe in something that you do not see, but the one you choose creates your future. So are you believing in the fear? Are you believing in the voice of fear that's whispering in your head that there's not enough, or it's too hard, or it's this person's fault, or you'll never be where you want to be? Or are you listening to the voice of faith, which again, no concrete proof of it just yet, but just like really believing that I'm capable of this. I can do this. It's already done for me. Oh my God, this is actually fun. This can be a lot easier than I think. Whatever those thoughts are, the thoughts of faith are so powerful. To give you guys a personal example, I'm currently in the process of creating many books, and one of the books, like most of them come through me very, very easily, but one of them I'm honestly kind of been struggling with. And instead of the old me who would have just been like, oh, this is hard, and I would have kept overthinking it and researching and trying to figure it out, what I've lately been doing is like, this will just come to me and just release it. Don't just keep thinking that all day, but just say that, really feel it a little bit, and then release it, right? Like surrender it, give space for things to actually shift and move. And then it can come to you, right? And that's what happened with this book is like this author reached out to me and they were willing to write that section that was really keeping me stuck. And it was so much, it was like easy and perfect and came together really well. I was like, yeah, that's great. That's so aligned. Let's do it. And so the universe has infinite answers. You just have to get into the receiving mode, which is the vibration of, I already have it. Like it's there. It's easy. It's been done, right? Because there's a question mode where you're asking the question, how can I create this? How can I do this? And then all you're going to get more of is more of how and more research and more information and more questions versus the mode of it's already done and it was really easy actually. And you just tune into that and then you'll get more of that, right? Of it was done, it was easy. So I'm gonna leave it off there. If you want to know more about how you can manifest money and your highest timeline, I have a book out for Life Path 1. Again, this applies to whether one is your expression number or your soul urge. If you have strong one energy or your birthday one, this will apply there as well. But it is basically about how to use your one energy, what money healing looks like for you, what limiting beliefs you might have that need to be cleared, what are the most aligned career paths for you or business ideas for you, and some morning routine ideas, things like that. All of it specifically tailored for one energy people. I'm really excited about this book because it has been a long time in the process. And it was like a divine download that came to me one time in my yoga class that I just got the inspiration. I was like, I need to put this all into a book, all the number energies and how they can best align with money and their highest timelines. And so I did that, and number one is already out, which is really exciting. So I'll leave the link for that below if you want to check it out, if you want to get your copy. Another thing I have is the money healing course, basically 7 steps to heal your energy with money and step into a higher timeline, a wealthier timeline. So this course isn't just about like how do I manifest an extra $100 or extra $1,000. It's really about how do I manifest a wealthier timelines, a new timeline jump where I'm earning more. And I recommend doing this every time you feel like you're ready for the next level. You've really honed in on the current level, you've manifested it, and now you're ready for the next. So it's 7 steps. It's a really quick, effective course. It's literally like 5 to 10 minutes each module. I like to keep it very practical, very to the point, give you the exercises and everything within those 5 to 10 minute modules. And yeah, it was from a live workshop that I did in Dubai when I moved there. And I got invited to this money manifestation workshop. I got such amazing feedback on that. People really, really loved it. And thankfully, I had recorded it live while I did it. And so I was like, oh, okay. I put it into a course, which is what I'm talking about right now, that you can purchase and you'll have lifetime access to if you are interested in that. So it's $44 to get the course, but if you use the code abundance, you can get it for $22, which is really awesome, especially because it's lifetime access. I really want to make this available for as many people as possible. And I know that not everyone maybe have as much money as they'd like. And so that's why I'm offering it for kind of a lower cost, just so that it's more available for people. And once again, you get lifetime access. I recommend coming back to it as much as you want. But they're really like practical and effective tips to heal your current energy with money and be able to step into the next higher timeline. With all that being said, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys in the next video.